Raider Nation deserves better, and if you believe that, I want you to hit that subscribe button right now. The Raiders Report has that commitment to excellence. I'm so proud of the fans that showed out at SoFi Stadium yesterday, totally taking over that stadium, and now seeing the game that just went down, it breaks my heart. I'm coming off 4 hours of sleep. I'm hungover as hell. I was so angry when I got home, I couldn't fall asleep. If you feel that exact same way, subscribe, because the Raiders Report, I feel your pain, and we're going to vent together in the comments today. Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and today's Overreaction Friday video is presented by our awesome sponsor, True Classic Tees. And if anybody wants to get their hands on the shirt that I'm wearing or really cool gear for if you're a golfer, if you need to work out, need to burn off a little steam, walk your dog, I hear you. You can get 25% off your order by going to trueclassictees.com/chat. I was nice enough to put that link in the comments and in the description of today's video. So what are you going to get today? You're going to get an Overreaction Friday, and I thought this was going to be a victory Friday, especially when the Raiders had a 13-point lead with less than 6 seconds left, but at this point, it is what it is with Josh McDaniels. So I'm going to talk about top 3 trending topics right now. I posted on Twitter. I asked y'all, what the hell should I talk about? So let's talk about Josh McDaniels and Derek Carr, and we'll talk about some of the coaching staff as well. Let's talk about McDaniels, though. Does he still suck? He does still suck. It's 4 just win babies. My opinion has never shifted on this. I was a confident Raiders fan because they started to win games, and it's okay to have hope. You should be able to have hope. There's no doubt about it. But I believed in the players more than I believed in McDaniels, and that point has never changed. My point on this continues to change. Bad coaches find ways to lose games, and right now the Raiders, they're the pros at it. If you wanted to look up how to throw a game away when having a lead, how to tuck your tail between your legs, you should ask Josh McDaniels, because right now this team, pros at it. Listen to this stat right here. The Raiders have blown 4 13-point leads this season. That is the most in NFL history. Teams are 4, and listen to this, 551. When trailing by 13 or more points in the final 4 minutes in the last 5 years. 4 and 551. The Raiders this season are just kings at figuring out how to blow games at the end. They are the kings of just unwanted stats. It's heartbreaking to me. I mean, look at these Raiders leads this season that they've blown. 20-point lead to the Cardinals. You blew that when there was 7 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Chiefs won. Okay, but the Jags, the Rams, I mean, this is a 4-win team. 4-win team. All 4-win teams, if you don't blow a 13-plus lead to a 4-win team, think about the record. You're 8-5. I mean, it just blows my mind how bad this team is down the stretch, how conservative they get, and how they go away from what the hell's working, and they're so afraid to lose that they end up losing the game. So I want right now, if you want the Raiders to fire Josh McDaniels, I want you to comment the clown emoji down below. I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's show. Obviously, you all know how I feel about this person, this clown that they're going to call a head coach. I can't take it anymore. I know it's probably not going to happen, but I got to do something or else I am going to go clinically insane. So if you want them to fire the clown, spam it down below. Coming up next here on the Raiders Report, should the nation put blame on Derek Carr? The answer to that is yes, but I'll also tell you who I'm also going to be pointing the finger at besides McDaniels. Before I do, though, again, the reason why we can do free shows here is because of our awesome sponsors, and I hope you guys support them. During the holidays, I like to be a little bit more cheerful, and I told myself coming into work, I'm going to look and feel great. And I do that because I'm wearing an awesome shirt here from True Classic Tees. Use promo code CHAT for 25% off. You can get a 6-pack, not a 6-pack of beer, but a 6-pack of True Classics, though either one would not be bad. But hey, if you got a little bit of a beer gut like I do, True Classics is going to help take that beer gut away at their great-fitting shirts. True Classic has already helped over 2 million men look great in their tees, and now you can save big while you do so. Get 25% off True Classic with my exclusive link, trueclassic.com/chat. And the discount, they don't stop there. You'll save even more during their site-wide sale. Support the Raiders Report and check them out at trueclassic.com/chat. Get 25% off and free shipping, including on purchases over $100. That's 25% off at trueclassic.com/chat. If you wear their shirts, I know this, Santa, he won't be the only one slaying this holiday season. If you're a golfer, like our producer Rolly is today, Jeremy, he's a little hungover and he got the day off, so shout out to Rolly for coming in. Big golfer guy. Me, not so much. The shorts, probably the most comfortable shorts that I own. Again, go get hooked up with True Classics. Available for you guys in the comments and in the description of today's show. Let's go to the next topic here. Are the Raiders the worst coached team in the NFL? This might surprise you. I'm not going to give it 4 just win babies. I am going to give it 2. And you got to say the people are talking. Have there been coaches already fired this season? Yes. Yes, there have been. Matt Rule obviously got the short end of the stick there in Carolina. But you know what's wild? Matt Rule couldn't win with Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield just beat the Las Vegas Raiders on 48 hours of knowing a playbook. I'm giving it 2 because right now the 2 worst coach teams in the NFL are the Raiders, and the Denver Broncos have to be up there in discussion with Nathaniel Hackett. The fact that both of them are in the AFC West, Andy Reid's probably sitting up there just laughing his freaking head off. The fact, though, when you look at this game, people could say what they want about McDaniels. McDaniels was in his bag early on. Hell, I almost feel like Chugs and I jinxed it. He is a smart, offensive-minded person, and that does not take away from that fact. I believe that. But my problem is this. When you're the head coach, you have to have the pulse on the team, and he just loses that far too often. I mean, how the hell does Davante Adams not get a catch in the second half? If people want to say, well, they covered him with Ramsey, that first catch that Davante made where Ramsey's all over him, one-handed grab, 32 yards, I don't care if there's 6 people on him. You target Davante Adams, and the Raiders wins this season. He averages 12 targets. Yeah, I get it. He only had 7. Carr only threw the ball 20 times. This man not getting a catch in the second half is criminal. And again, McDaniels just not having the pulse on the game. It makes me want to throw up at times. Josh Jacobs out there is giving everything he's freaking got. You can tell that he's banged up. He leaves the game with a hand injury. And the very first play he comes back in, you're going to pass the ball with him? I mean, it's just nonsense to me. If you don't have a grasp on the game and you don't have a good pulse with your team, you're not going to be a successful head coach. So I need your help. Nation is loud, and I love Raider Nation very much. Y'all are my family. I tweeted out this morning, it's a great day to fire Josh McDaniels, but I use the hashtag fire Josh McDaniels. I want to get it trending. I can't do it alone. I need your help. And if you're as sick to your stomach as I am, I don't have a voice from screaming last night, I'm asking for help. So if you want that man fired, I need your help. Spam it, tweet it, fire Josh McDaniels. Let's get it trending. Let's also talk about the end of the game debacle that, again, is going to fall on your head coach's shoulders. I said the reason why the Raiders lost this game, McDaniels is number 1. But then that final drive, that's rough. Clelin Ferrell's offsides was just the start of the shit show. I saw that happen on 3rd down and 4, and I just couldn't believe it. Couldn't even believe it. And then Maxx Crosby, he jumped offsides, giving the Rams another first down. So you're giving them more chances. Mac talked about it after the game. Then you got a 3rd and 1. This is another perfect example of, I always say, McDaniels overcomplicates the simple. It's 3rd down and 1. You hurry up to the line, and the play that you're going to run is Josh Jacobs lined up as a fullback, Davante Adams lined up as a running back. Why? That's just another great example of you overcomplicate things when you don't need to overcomplicate them. Jerry Tillery's unsportsmanlike conduct. You get a huge stop, right? Baker's trying to spot the ball, and Tillery knocks that out of his hands, extra 15 yards. I mean, my God, what are you doing? Have a pulse on the game. And then the Van Jefferson 23-yard touchdown. Baker Mayfield literally laughed in the Raiders' face at his post-game conference and said, I couldn't believe they ran press coverage. I can't believe it either. You had to go 98 yards, no timeouts, and the Patrick Graham defense crumbled. And then you go one-on-one with Sam Webb. I get it. You can have confidence in Sam Webb all you want, but one-on-one with Van Jefferson press coverage near the end of the game? How? No timeouts. I mean, it just doesn't even make sense to me. It's as bad as a call as you could possibly have. Patrick Graham deserves blame. The entire coaching staff deserves blame. The entire team deserves blame. This is a downright embarrassing game. In fact, I'll say this. This is the most embarrassing loss this Raiders team has had this season, which is saying a lot. McDaniels can't prep either. I hate when I go on social media and people are like, you're not a coach. You're not a player. You're not. If anything I've learned from the Raiders, they've literally proven that you can be somebody on a TV media personality guy like Jeff Saturday, not prepare, get a week to prepare, I guess, and then beat the Raiders. And then Baker Mayfield doesn't even know the playbook, can show up on a Tuesday, play on Thursday, and get a win. That proves to me McDaniels can't prep. And unless y'all disagree with that, he can't prep. Now, I am a frustrated individual, but you know what? I know the nation. I got a lot of ride and dies with me, and a lot of different emotions for everyone, especially on social media right now. But I want to give a special shout out to the people who showed up to our watch party last night, over 100,000 viewers. And I was really looking forward to celebrating, popping some champagne. But Devin Johnson, Matthew Schaefer, bottom of my heart, thank you. Jarrett Watson, James Story, these guys finished in second and third in terms of the MVP race last night. Reyes Maldonado, the greatness of the Raiders. Patrick B., Hootie Lord. Shout out to Lord Buddy Bear. He had Artie Savantis, Marcus Pratt. These were all the people who were banging last night. You know what I'm talking about. But there can be only one MVP, and yet again this season, it's one of our guys on our Mount Rushmore. It's Tryvan. Huge shout out to Tryvan. He won the signed football, but then I believe he donated it. Last night is still a little bit of a blur. So Tryvan, if you can message me, man, on Instagram, or just text me, call me. Tell me who you want to get that signed football to, because it's a blur. Last night is an absolute blur. And I'm still a little bit hungover. So I am going to be doing a Locals live show probably on Monday. My schedule this week's a little bit crazy. If you want to hit me up on and vent on social media, y'all know where to find me. I am going to try to be a lot more positive individual, though, for the rest of the week. Final topic of discussion here on Overreaction Friday. Derek Carr, he choked again. And this one's for just win babies. I'm not saying that Derek is the most responsible for this loss, but you do have to look at the game, and you have to watch it and just sit there and say, he was bad down the end of the stretch of that game. There's no other way you can look at it to me. He was 11 of 20. 11 of 20 against an abysmal Rams defense. 137 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Yeah, the interception late in the game was bad. He did kind of get hit, though, which then forced the duck to fly out. Unfortunately, you can't be put into that situation. And Derek, time and time again, has put us in really bad situations this year. He's been good sometimes, but realistically, when you look at the numbers, Carr in the fourth quarter, when the Raiders are either winning by 7 or losing by about 7, his completion percentage, 52.3. 564 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, but a quarterback rating of 79. The completion percentage is bad. Quarterback rating, really bad. What about Carr in the last 2 minutes of the half? First and second half this season. A 54.7% completion percentage, 362 yards, 3 touchdowns, 4 picks, and a quarterback rating of 72.5. If you can't perform when it matters the most, you are going to struggle in this league. I said in November, Carr, he looked good. 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Maybe he's starting to pick up the McDaniels offense. Well, so far, Carr in December in 2 games, 54% completion percentage, 387 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. I said on Twitter, I don't understand why the Raiders fans settle for a mediocrity. I don't get why you would settle for a quarterback who clearly isn't a top 16. And then I got trolls coming left and right saying, well, why do you wear his jersey? I wear his jersey because I'm a Raider fan. Just because I don't think Derek Carr is a top 16 quarterback, that does not mean that I am not a Raiders fan. I will still rep Carr's jersey. You know why? Because he's a Raider, and I'm a Raider too. But why would you settle for a quarterback that you clearly see isn't a top 16 guy? So here's my question. Why for yes and for no? Is Derek Carr a top 16 QB? Right now on social media, it's about 53% no, 47% say yes. And that's fine. If you want to say that he is a top 16 guy, you can say that. I'm just going to sit up here and tell you right now that I don't think he is. And then the next question that somebody's going to hit me with is, well, can you give me 16 quarterbacks that you would rather take over Derek Carr? I can. and I'm going to do it. Why? Because I do not think Derek is top 16. He's got the 18th highest quarterback rating. He's got a lot of talent on that offense. Have they been banged up this season? Yes. Has he dealt with different coordinators? Yes. The defense his entire career, it's bad. I get it. It's bad. But if you were asking me right now, Mitch, give me 16 other quarterbacks that you would rather have than Derek Carr, I'm glad you asked, because here they are. I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. Easy decisions. Tom Brady, give me him over Derek Carr. Geno Smith, Jalen Hurts, Kirk Cousins. Yes, I will still take Aaron Rodgers. Lamar Jackson, all these, it's not even close. And then I'll make some of these arguments here. Trevor Lawrence. I'm not saying that maybe Trevor Lawrence is better than DC right now, but I know what Derek Carr is at this point in his 9-year career. To me, I still don't know exactly what Trevor Lawrence could be. For that, I'll take him. Kyler Murray is a diva, but clearly more athletic. Matthew Stafford has a Super Bowl ring, and Stafford and Carr, to me, are very similar in terms of their career. Justin Fields, not even close. Dak Prescott, give me him. Kenny Pickett, my comp for Kenny Pickett was DC, but I already know what Derek Carr is. The fact that I don't know what Pickett is, I can at least take that little bit of a risk. So I'm going to end the show here, and I know it's been a long show today. The NFL is about Super Bowl wins or playoff wins. Derek Carr has 0. If you've never won anything, then you have nothing to lose. For that reason, it is time to move on from DC at the end of the year. It's not that I don't love DC. He's done a lot of great things for this organization, and there's no doubt about it. But you have to be able to face the facts. It is time to move on from Derek Carr if the Raiders don't make the playoffs at the end of the season.